Have you ever heard the statistic that 75% of all resumes get rejected by a bot within a few seconds? Let's talk about how to get your resume into the 25% or so that actually get to a real human so you can get the darn interview. What we're going to cover in this sprint is some secrets on how to customize your resume to beat the bot, so to speak, to get the actual interview. By following the story of our aspiring Scrum Master Quinn, you'll learn two things. Number one, how to customize your resume for a better score match to the job you're applying for. And number two, how to customize your resume for what bots can and cannot handle. By the end of this sprint, you'll be privy to several pieces of insider knowledge on how to customize your resume in ways that appeal to bots and make it more likely for them to present your resume to a human, which is what you want. You'll have tricks for getting past those bots by customizing your resume for a friendlier, faster match to the job you want. So by October, my Scrum Master apprentice, Quinn, had been doing everything the program recommends. She followed all the sprints to strengthen her skills, build up her experience, and then Scrumify her resume. But that third Tuesday in October, she turned up in our cohort mentoring call with an unhappy face. She said, "I am so frustrated. I followed all the program steps up until now, and I applied for 15 jobs over the past week, but I still can't even get one interview. What am I doing wrong?" I said, "Take heart. You're not doing anything wrong. You're just missing a step." She looked at me a little tentative and asked, "What's the missing step?" I said, "It's time to beat the bot." She looked surprised and asked, "Beat the what?" I laughed. The bot, as in the artificial intelligence bot. They scan thousands of resumes in a few seconds to see if they match the job requirements. Quinn looked skeptical. "Do I really need to try to get past the bot? Can't I just have a good resume? I Scrumified my resume and I'm pretty happy with it." I said, "I understand. Let's look at bots for a minute, and then obviously you'll make your own decision." Bots disqualify about 75% of job applicants immediately after you hit the submit button. Why? Because most recruiters use these applicant tracking systems to narrow down the tidal wave of resumes. So those systems will scan your resume for how well it matches to the job description, and they'll give it a score. The higher the score, the better your chance of matching to the job you just applied for. So Quinn asked, "Well, how can I get a better ATS score, applicant tracking system score?" I smiled and said, "Simple. You need to tailor your resume to show up on the recruiter's radar and break through to the hiring manager's desk." But Quinn looked doubtful. She asked, "But how do I even know what the bots are looking for?" I said, "Great question. Let's go over the list. The first thing for you to know is that your friendly bot, or maybe not so friendly bot, breaks down your Scrum Master job posting into several relevant keyword phrases. So basically, you're going to want to optimize your resume with keyword phrases to make it rank higher in the bot search results." Quinn asked, "I can put keyword phrases into my resume, but how do I find out what they are?" I said, "No problem. There's two simple tricks here. The first is to reread the job description and note down which words come up over and over. Then go to the company website and check out their career pages to see which words get repeated. Your second trick is to go to the Google AdWords Keyword Planner or ubersuggest.com. Then just search the traffic of Scrum Master to see what common phrases come up." Quinn looked relieved. She said, "Okay, I get that. It's kind of like me posting good enough pictures on Instagram so people will like them." I said, "You got it. And here's another secret. It's not enough for you to use one keyword phrase on your resume. Instead, you need to use those keywords frequently because that's what the bot looks for. Frequency." Quinn said, "Okay, I can do that." So I went on. The next thing for you to know is that your friendly bot checks your resume for completeness. So make sure you have the basics there, like your phone, your email, skills, location, education, and professional experience. If you forget to add those, the bot might automatically disqualify your resume. On the positive side, completeness can make your resume more than 7 times more likely to shoot up to the top of the list of search results. Quinn said, "Okay, I can do all that, but it seems like it would take a lot of time for each job I apply for." I said, "Only at first. Let me tell you about a true story on how this worked for me when I was applying for jobs. The first couple took me about an hour. But once I learned the keyword phrases on resumes, it took me only about 15 minutes to customize my resume for each job posting. I have every confidence you can get up to speed." Quinn said, "I'm on it." That brought us to the end of our weekly cohort mentoring meeting for that week. Quinn had her homework and I was rooting for her. The rest of the week went by in a flash, and next Tuesday rolled around. I opened the cohort mentoring call. "Welcome, everybody. So by now, you know that your resume is a marketing tool to market the product called you. And you know that your resume ranks higher in search results if you have keyword phrases for the job you're applying for, and you can get those keyword phrases from the actual job description or Google Ads. So how did it go for everybody this week applying for jobs?" Quinn started us out on the conversation. She said, "It went a little better this week. I added the keywords to my resume for each job I applied for, and I made sure everything was complete. I applied for 10 jobs, and guess what? I got 1 interview for this Friday." "Congratulations," I said. But then Quinn said, "Well, I also have some bad news. This week I heard a few rumors that layoffs are coming in my company. So I really want to accelerate my job search. I have a family to support." I felt for her. So I said, "Last week, you made a really good start on customizing your resume so the bots will rank you higher in search results and put you in front of the recruiter. And I have some good news for you. There's a couple more easy tricks you can do to rank even higher." She looked relieved and said, "Lay it on me, Kelly. I'm ready." So I said, "The first thing for you to know is that bots are smart, but they're just bots after all. They're kind of dumb in some ways. So you got to customize your resume in ways that they can understand. The first way to do that is to understand that bots have a hard time interpreting design elements on your resume, like tables, text boxes, or pictures." Quinn said, "Okay, but how can I get around that?" I answered, "Just keep your resume simple and stick to text. Use a simple font like Times New Roman or Arial. Forget about the fancy fonts and avoid making your text different colors, especially white or gray. Just use black. And submit a Word doc instead of a PDF, because PDFs sometimes reformat things, which could make it really hard for your friendly or unfriendly bot to actually read." Quinn looked relieved. She said, "Okay, that's all pretty straightforward. What else?" I said, "Okay, you know those headers in your resume like education or work experience or skills or training or certifications? Use that exact language that I just gave you. Nice and simple. Don't say fancy stuff like professional contributions or academic achievements. It's like that acronym KISS. It stands for Keep It Simple, Stupid." Quinn laughed. "I do tend to overcomplicate things sometimes, and that's a good reminder to just take a breath, calm down, and keep it simple." So Quinn left our mentoring cohort call with her simplification homework. She spent her lunch break on Wednesday simplifying her resume in the ways we talked about. Then Thursday and Friday, she applied for 10 more jobs. And success. 5 recruiters called her for interviews. Her beat the bot strategies were working. What we did in this sprint was to show you little known secrets on how to customize your resume to, quote, beat the bots to get the actual interview. You learned, number 1, how to customize your resume for a better score match to the job that you're applying for. And number 2, how to customize your resume for what bots can and cannot handle. By now, you're privy to some insider tricks to customizing your resume in ways that do appeal to bots and make it more likely for them to present your resume to a human. Try it, get into a rhythm, and go out there and get those interviews. You can do this, Scrum Masters.